Hello fellow travellers, it's myself, Joseph, and I thought I'd come somewhere beautiful again today. That was a little bit of a hike to get here. Thank goodness I'm so fit and young. I'm sat on the edge of a ravine, so if I fall down backwards it'll make an even better video. I wanted to do something a little bit different today. I've got my mirror still, my mirror with me, which I use a very great deal. And I feel peace out here. I can't feel any people anywhere, which is probably the downside of being psychic when you can feel people so much. But I can feel the beauty, and I can feel the birds and the animals and just the quietness of it, and some bees over there, I think. The mirror is very useful for me, the way I use it. I don't know if you watched my previous videos, but basically I use it as a portal, a place to just reach out into the world, into everywhere. You probably know the sort of things I've used it for in the past, and some are pretty grim, but it doesn't have to be grim. One of the other things I use it for, if I have someone who is unwell, whether they're here with me in person or whether they're on the other side of the world, I can use the mirror to help them. Like, I don't like the word psychic. I even don't like the word healer. They have a certain pomposity about them, but I don't know what other terms to use, really. And I think it's not all that it seems to be. I mean, you and I, we have billions of people before us on this lovely planet, and there's so many people still out there in the world, and we're not very different from them. Though some are in dire situations, and some have good lives, bless them. But I was saying to someone this morning how our view of the world, your view of the world, is just as valid as any religion, as any scientific treatise, because you've experienced things yourself. Some things we can't put into words, and you've experienced things there of great value, and you should hang on to them. If you can't explain them to others, that doesn't matter anyway, you know it. Was it Wordsworth who said about eternity in an hour? Was it infinity in a flower? And I can't remember it all, but it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I think that whatever healing is, it's sort of like putting things to right, restoring balance. And I think that many of us have it within, all of us have it within us, to do some sort of healing towards ourselves. Hence the placebo effect. They haven't explored the placebo effect. They test out a drug and they find, 20% of people, the placebo effect fixes them. It's obviously their own mind, their own will, making them better, and that's not explored because there's no money in it. But what I'm going to try and do today is, I'm going to reach out. Look, if you don't want the energy that I'm going to bring from this beautiful place, if you don't want to feel it, or you're a religious person and think that I'm completely evil and all the rest of it, which is fine, you're entitled to your opinion, then just turn it off here. And what I'm wanting is that whoever watches this, that somehow we can make things a bit better. And the stuff I do, the healing I do, it's not, sometimes it's sort of insignificant, other times there are very good results. And I'm not sure why. But today, under this beautiful sky, under this lovely sunlight, talking to you, I'm going to try and bring some magic here. And a lot of magic and such, it's wishing. I think of this as wishcraft. I want you to be well. I want you to be okay. I mean, you're my fellow creatures. And I want you to be okay. I want your life to be better. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to want that. I'm going to want it very much. Do you know that, I mean, you must know about the older religions like the Celts and all these sorts of people. And when the invaders came, like the Romans initially into Britain, and later on, the Spaniards and the British around the world, it seemed like magic had gone, but it had sort of withdrawn, pardon me, it had withdrawn to the edges of things. It seems like when we have lots of people together, magic fades. And that's why stories of fairies and yowies and such, it's always away, it's always on the edge of things. And I think sometimes we have to go to the edge of things, the edge of places, to experience the magical again. It's more likely to be here, just sleeping in the woods. All the beauty. where I am now at this moment, it's not far from ancient sacred sites. And the sacred sites, they precede any human beings. There's a beauty and a holiness in them. I don't know if you know anything about Taoism, but a lot of that's to do with the flow of energy and the balancing of things. I think a lot of it is to do with that. Anyway, I'm raving on, please forgive me. And so if I have a client who's not well, we do the mirror. And you know, there's also that idea of alternate worlds and nearby universes. And in some of them, we're not unwell. We might be quite unwell here, but maybe in some of them, not so far away, we're not unwell. So another thing we try and do, or I try and do, is just to reach out and nudge things a little bit, nudge reality a little bit, so that some of the energy from that other world just seeps into our world. And we're not as unwell as we were, or even better. So I'm going to try and do those things. Do you hear that? There's a river over down that way behind me, and there's beautiful birds. And okay then, yeah, you'd have to do. Oh well, I'll tell you what I do. But when I'm with someone in person, I'll get them to do this. Today we'll make it the sun, and I'll just briefly touch their hands, get them to close their eyes, and I tell them I'm going to fill them with sunlight. I'm going to do that for you in a minute. Just the room where you are. You, if you wish it. I want you to be okay, because there's so much in the world that is not okay. There's so much that is wrong. And I think you should consider this method also. I'm going to be teaching some folk how to use the mirror the way I do, or giving them a few ideas. And it's not a great deal of effort, it's just because I want to and it opens. I myself, there comes the wind. Hello, spirits. I asked them to come and have a look at you and to look at me and what we're doing, and that we wish them well. Okay, so I'd like you just to close your eyes for a minute. Just touch your own hand, put your hand on your hand. I'll do the same here. Okay? Now for just a minute, you're going to be filled with sunlight. The room where you are, everything around you is just going to sparkle. It's going to be filled with beautiful sunlight. I'm just going to channel it. I'm just going to let this flow through me and out to you. Oh friend who I've never met. Bless you wherever you are in the world. And I will talk another time. And hopefully you'll listen and think about what I said, and maybe you can improve on it. I seem to have become an old man, which is a blessing if you think about it. Not in some ways, but I've got to live longer and experience more. And I hope you all have I hope you can all become old. But of course, you know, when you're old, the world will be more. You won't look so old. So blessings on you all. And I'm going to walk a long way now back to my car. I need the exercise though, but it's so beautiful here. Look at it. It's just so. I mean, this could be 100,000 years ago. I think it'd be no different, or very little difference. Anyway, I'll stop raving. Bless you, my friend.